Hey, what is up? So I wanted to talk about this again. This is something that I talk about on social media quite a bit, especially lately. Days Gone launched, and this is why I'm back and talk about Anthem a little bit. Of course, this is all for the sake of comparisons. Right? I'm kind of sick and tired of talking about Anthem, but I can't help. I love the game. I can't. I do. Um, I also love Mass Effect Andromeda. Right? So just to give anybody an idea, a quick idea, who maybe just quickly came to this video to check out what I was gonna say and give them a chance to be like, "Fuck this guy, he likes two games. What an idiot," you know. Um, yeah. So Days Gone recently launched, right? It's an excellent game. Oh my gosh, I'm 20 hours in. I haven't even done my first horde yet. Apparently, there are like they're kind of like camps. Apparently, like if you were to play Far Cry, you'll clear out a camp. Apparently, the hordes, the zombies, are actually something you're supposed to clear out. I've done nests. I've been doing like all side content, every little piece of content I've done, and it's also because there's not a whole lot of it, right? Like there's plenty of content, but it's not packed. Like the map isn't Assassin's Creed map, right? It isn't just loaded with crap. So I've been doing a lot of side stuff, and I'm like 20 hours into the game. I still have not taken down my first horde yet. But it's a great game. It's really really freaking cool. Oh, what the hell was I gonna say? So the reviews for Days Gone are pretty much on par with what happened with Anthem. They're almost everything said as to negatives about it and stuff is very similar. Anthem has its own thing as well, right? Like it's a different game, so it does have some other negative opinions compared to Days Gone, but it's a lot of the same stuff. For example, Days Gone is called repetitive and boring, and I just like, what the fuck. I don't even understand. I don't. I At this point, I'm done. I'm just done with social media. I've unfollowed IGN, GameSpot, Twinfinite, which I loved Twinfinite when they were new. They used to be really good, and now they've become another Kotaku. And then saying this, I've unfollowed all these. Sometimes I'll see somebody share a good article by them, but most of the time I don't even bother. I don't even waste my time. There's so many sites that I've unfollowed, and it's not just because of Anthem. It's over the years, over the past 2 years at least, right? Over the past 2 years, I've noticed just this insane, like ridiculous amount of negativity and stupidity in the games reviewing, like whatever you call the sites, right? I think of it as social media, because it's whatever. All the gaming coverage, right? And all the major sites have just gone to crap. They've gone to shit. All right, I'm not even being polite about it. And use non-profane words or whatever. They're shitty. They're fuck them, man. They're ugh. And the reason I don't want to cuss so much is because I don't want to get somebody not to watch my video, when I'm sitting here giving my opinion. So, but it's just crap, right? It's so lame. Everything is clickbait now. Everything. Have you noticed this? Every headline. It's so rare to come across a headline that isn't just clickbait. You don't see headlines that talk about the topic. You see headlines that will be like half the topic and then the other half some negative thing. Like I didn't pull up examples, but you just go look at anything, any of the game like coverage. Go look at any of the headlines. It's half clickbait. It's dramatic. It's to shock you in. Oh look, it's stupid. There's no honest like headline. I mean, let me see. Like I'm trying to figure out. There's one site that hasn't been really clickbaity for me lately. Game Informer has been decent. I still follow Game Informer. PC Gamer is getting on my last nerve. I'm almost done with them. Almost done with PC Gamer, but they're still okay. Destructoid, I still follow Destructoid. They've been, they're a little, but they've been better lately than I've ever seen them before. And Rock Paper Shotgun. These are like the four. Oh, and GamesBeat. So five. That Game Informer, PC Gamer, Destructoid, and Gadget Gaming, which isn't like a major. They share like tech stuff usually, and stuff. I don't know. Whatever. There's a few sites that I still follow. I used to follow at least 20. I have followed everything because I'm all gaming, man. I love video games. I love video games, and I just everything to do with video games. I'm all over it, man. So the past couple of years has been. I've just seen this increase in stupidity and negativity, and obviously it's so that they can get views, right? Like, I mean, and that's the thing I've seen in comments too over the years, is people are always saying, oh, it's clickbait, you just want views. And the problem with that is it's the same kind of a thing that happens with Anthem or Days Gone, or when people are jumping on the bandwagon. The problem with that is, like, I get it, but they're saying it about, people will say this about headlines that aren't clickbaity. They will say it about articles that are not clickbaity. They just say it about everything. Everybody just says whatever, fucking everything. It's like when people are saying, like, oh, that's racist, when it's not racist. You know, when people just say these things because it's a bandwagon, hop on everybody and, oh, look, I'm cool because I'm saying what everybody else is saying, crap, you know. So, let me quickly talk about Anthem before I go more into this. I wanted to make some notes real quick because, so Anthem, the problems with Anthem, the main problems with Anthem, that are the same as any other game crashes, bugs, some bugs sometimes. I had a third one earlier before I started this video, and I can't remember what it was. But loading screens. Loading screens, some bugs here and there, and game crashes, right? Now, the only difference, the one major difference between Anthem and any other game that launches these days was it happened more often. These things happen more often. Not a whole lot. Like, you know, you take a player who plays Anthem, like myself, when it first came out. I haven't played in a while now. If I played 10 hours in a day, the game might crash once or twice at the most, right? Some people have different experiences. For some people out there, they might crash 10 times in that same period of time. It's not like a thing that's consistent for every player ever, you know. And this is issues that happen in all kinds of games, you know. So whatever. The only real issue Anthem has is endgame content. It's the only real issue it has. The thing that's cool, the reason it doesn't bother me is because I had a really good time playing through the campaign. It's a great game, freaking awesome. I honestly don't have hope for it anymore. I just because of the media, the coverage, the outrage out there. That's where I'm just like, well, these people, they just keep shitting all over it. And I've never seen anything like it before. I've seen something. I've seen things like it, but not as bad. I think EA has just pushed people too far. I really do. I believe it's an EA thing, and I think these people don't realize that it's their hate for EA. They're out there saying, "Oh, BioWare." No. I really think it's their hate for EA, because if you look at the games by themselves, Mass Effect Andromeda is a good game. It had some bugs in it, whatever. You know, it's a good game. It's freaking cool. And I recently just played through the trilogy because of Anthem. I finally went back and I played through the Mass Effect trilogy, finally. I tried playing them in the past, years ago, right? I tried playing the Mass Effect games several times, and I just could never get into it. It was a little too slow for me and stuff. And then recently, because of Anthem and stuff, I was like, I want to play more games by this team, you know? And they're different members of the team, of course, you know? People leave, they come and go and all that kind of stuff, but a lot of the same members in Anthem were you know, I see them in the credits of Mass Effect trilogy. I saw them in there, I was like, oh man, there's Anthem, you know. And it was freaking cool. And also, one of my favorite things about the Mass Effect trilogy, especially part 1 and part 2, 3 didn't really have it so much, but part 1 and part 2 were several times throughout the games that I would see Anthem in it, where Anthem came from, and I was like, wow, this is freaking cool. This is Anthem right here. Like, this is awesome. Like, you could see where it came from. It came from Mass Effect, you know? And all these people out there be like, oh, it's a different BioWare. They don't, you know, it's bandwagon bullshit, dude. That's what it is. A bunch of people being stupid as hell. I have blocked, anyways, it's been nonsense, all right? It's been nonsense, and I'm done. I'm fed up. Dude. I'm just so done. I have no more patience anymore. I'm done. I'm not taking anymore. I'm out there. I'm being a dick, and I don't want to. But I don't care anymore, because people don't listen to sensibility and calmness and politeness. They don't listen. I mean, notice that, right? I mean, your friends will, but not just people on the internet. You know, they all get away with being idiots and asses. This is part of why I've seen like sometimes when I see people get in trouble, like somebody lost his access to his PSN games because he was like super racist and I've been toxic in games because I get upset. Specifically Rocket League. I don't go like super off or anything and tell people to uninstall and one other thing that I say that I'm not going to repeat here. Nothing racist, but you know, I get a little bit toxic for playing multiplayer. But no, this guy went to the extreme. So PSN like removed all his access to his games and stuff, and people online are like, "What? How dare they? How dare they? Freedom of speech, freedom of speech." I swear, people are so. It's like they don't know what freedom of speech really is. It does not allow you to just go around being an asshole. You know, like I did. So when I see that, I'm like, oh, finally there are consequences. Finally there are consequences. Finally, man, you know, because there are no consequences online. People are just act like idiots and assholes all over the place. And I'm just done, man. I'm gonna call them out. That's what I do now. I just call idiots out. I don't argue with them. I don't debate with them. If they answer me, I block them if they answer me. Which happens. They try to argue with me, and I'm not there to argue. I'm just there to point out that you're an idiot. You're a piece of shit. That's it. I'm not gonna like sit there and try to convince them that they're a piece of shit or an idiot. I know they are. I don't need a debate with them. Like, anyways, yeah, that's messed up. It's messed up, but I can't take it anymore, man. I cannot take it anymore. Anthem was the one that pushed me over the edge. Like I said, over the past couple of years, I've seen it more and more and more, and the bandwagon has just been bigger and bigger, and it just keeps filling up, and that's what it is. I used to see people talk about this all the time, people jumping on the bandwagon, and I didn't really care. It didn't bother me because I didn't really see it so much. Like I said, I had a couple years, maybe even a few, but I had noticed more and more that things were getting worse as far as like people's opinions and the negativity and the general just stupidity in the gaming coverage. Everybody's just out there to trash on people, and I get that the publishers are screwing us. This is something I've been saying a long time, many years, like 10 years. I agree with a lot of stuff Jim Sterling says when it comes to the way publishers are screwing us over, and you know, DLC and loot boxes and everything when he talks about free to play and microtransactions and all that, I'm right there with him. I'm like, yes. But you gotta remember, like someone like me or Jim Sterling, we're older, and people our age, we come from a different time, so it's not gonna stop. All this new microtransactions, DLC, none of that stuff's gonna stop. It's for the younger audience, especially now. They're so used to it, they defend it. Even people in their 20s right now. You don't realize people in their 20s to me is a kid. That's a weird thought, right? It's just weird. Okay, I don't want to think that, but that's how I think now because I'm so much freaking older. I'm double their age, right? It's crazy. Okay, so it's not like I'm not like thinking I'm better than them. It's just, to me now, when I look back and I see people, and you know, like I'm like, oh yeah, that's a kid right there, you know. So the younger people, they're used to it. It's normal for them. They grew up in it. You know, they don't know that back when I grew up with video games, when they added new content, it was free. I think EverQuest might have been one of the first games. It was one of the first games I remember adding expansions. But before that, we had like Diablo 2. I don't remember if Diablo 1 did it, but I know Diablo 2 over years, like 5.5 years I played that game, and over the years they kept adding content. They would patch stuff in. They had an expansion as well, right? But in between the expansion, Lord of Destruction and the original game, they had all kinds of patches, updates, all kinds of stuff that was free, and it was real patches, not just bug fixes, like entire game changes, man. You know, and I'm I'm fine with the developers getting paid and things being different. Now, I'm just saying we grew up in a different time of the way games were played and designed, and not there to nickel and dime you. You know, that's all, man. I'm fine with times changing. That's just how it's gonna be, you know. But there's a difference between greed and I don't know. I don't even like. It's gotten so bad in the way that microtransactions and DLC is right now that. Oh, okay. I was like, what? That I can't even point out like a good example. I could say like Marvel Heroes had a really good free-to-play model, and I'm still sad that game shut down. Marvel Heroes had a good free-to-play model because the stuff was expensive, right? Like, it drives me nuts when I see a costume skin or a costume for $20. I'm just like, are you freaking out of your mind? But the difference for Marvel Heroes was you could actually get that stuff in game by playing it. If you're grinding, kind of like Diablo, you get lots of loot, right? You just farm monsters, you're killing things all day, and you get loot. Marvel Heroes had a chance to drop anything in the cash shop. And it was low. it might have been 1% or something. But if you play that game a lot, you would get them. I mean, I got like 4 characters without having to pay for them in the shop. I got 2 or 3 costume skins, and I played like I don't even. I think I don't. It was either 100 or 200 hours. I can't remember. So. You know, it was a lot of time, but just the fact that you get that stuff free. I actually bought a couple packs. I spent like around $40 on that game because I was satisfied with their pay model, with their free to play model. Just the fact that they didn't make me feel like a shitty player, a shitty customer. They didn't make me feel like crap with their, you know, their pay model. I liked it. I could support a developer that did something like that, you know. I don't play Warframe, but I know it has a good free-to-play model. It's super grindy, but that's how it makes sense to be super grindy. You know, if you want to get stuff for free, you grind like crazy. And it reminds me of Marvel Heroes. But I never got super far into Warframe, so I can't really say too much about that. I love DC Universe Online, the free-to-play model. But because there's been so much content over years, it's just better to subscribe to that game if you were to continue playing it than to buy all the DLC, because the DLC there's so much. The cool thing about that game is if you were to go in there and start now, there's lots of content before you get into the DLC. There's so much stuff to do that's free. Anyways, I got a little bit off topic there because I was talking about the pay models, the way the gaming industry is now, the way they push all this stuff. So I understand being pissed at the publishers and, you know, going at EA. That's, to me, this is, I really believe that the hate on Anthem and Andromeda is really more at EA without people realizing it. People are out there saying, oh no, it's not EA, it's BioWare. Stop saying it's EA, it's BioWare. And you know, for example, like how BioWare apparently, you know, they didn't have a real lead, direction lead for a long time until Mark Dara, I think, came in. I think it was him. I think it was Mark Dar. Anyways, you know, they had a lot of issues. They had all these ideas that they were working on the game, and they had nobody saying, yes, do this, you do this, you do this. They just had all these ideas, and they were talking about it, and then nothing came of it because they didn't have like a real confirmation to say, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, until the last year and a half before the game came out. And then the guy comes in, and he's like, all right, do this, you know, like, let's take what we have, and this is what we're going to do here. So that is a BioWare thing, but I can't help but think part of it is because of EA influence. You know, these people pushing their own idea, you know, whatever. I don't know what goes behind the scenes, right? But I know enough about EA to sit here and be like, I'm pretty sure a lot of that is also a big part of EA influence. Not only EA's fault, right? But EA is a big... Man, you take a look at EA online and outside of Anthem, and how much crap has gone on because of them, you know. And I only recently learned how much influence stockholders, whatever, how much of an influence regular people who invest into your company have over your product. Like, that shouldn't even be possible. Like, some rando person that invests into your company can tell you what to do. Are you freaking kidding me? That's like the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I didn't even know that. I just thought people invested, so I didn't realize they had they could actually tell you how to do things. I'm like, you know, like, that's incredibly stupid. I'm gonna skip forward here. This has been going around through the town because playing the game all normal like and stuff. Jeez. Anyways, yeah. So Anthem's issues and then Mass Effect Andromeda's issues, just small bugs that people blew out of proportion. That's the reality. Alright? Because, you know, I mean, you look at any game you love. I'm sure you've encountered bugs that you're like, son of a bitch, you know? I remember Far Cry 3, specifically Far Cry 3. I played 4 and 5, and even Primal. And I like them, but 3 I'll never forget because I loved that game so much. I mean, this was before I got bored of like open world games and stuff, and Far Cry 3 was my first real Far Cry that I played, and I had played that twice, I think. Played through it, the main story, twice. I got a lot of hours played on it, and I loved that game. But it had so many issues, dude. So many issues that would frustrate me all the time, but it didn't matter because I loved the game. It was, you know, it was fun. It was really cool. But I'll never forget, like, trying to climb on platforms that were like a half an inch off the ground, and having to jump over them to walk into a building just because I couldn't walk. I couldn't walk onto it. I had to jump over this little tiny crack in the ground. Um, uh, so so Days Gone has the same. I've rambled a lot this video. If you're still here with me, thanks. Days Gone has the similar stuff that I've seen with Anthem when it comes to reviews, like 6s and 5s and shit, and maybe rarely a 7, or I think I might have saw 1.8. I can't remember who did it. But generally it has been really low for the game's coverage, like the big sites and stuff. Man, my nose itches like crazy. So, but then you look at the user reviews and they're all super high. That's the big difference between Anthem and Days Gone is everybody's just been shitting all over Anthem, and I get it, but it's wrong. Anyways, I just thought it was funny because everything I've seen in the reviews and the defense of Days Gone, right? So the reviews just shit all over Days Gone, right? And then you get all these comments, all these people all over the internet, like in the comments defending Days Gone and saying, "What the hell's wrong with you people?" And it's the exact same thing I saw with Anthem. Not just myself, but other people. It's the same comments, man. They're saying the same thing. Like everything I see, I'm like, you just switch Days Gone out with Anthem, and you have the exact same thing that I remember going through and seeing when Anthem was like, and Anthem is still a going crazy in the media and stuff. It's still being covered. Most recently, how a couple of team leads left the team to go work on Dragon Age 4 instead. But this is something I learned some years back, is how that happens all the time with dev teams. That everybody on a team that works together on a game doesn't stick around for every little thing after that. They will go to do other stuff while the people that are working on this part of the game continue to work on it. So it's pretty normal for dev team members to kind of swap and you drop these people and keep these people. That's if the game is going to continue to be worked on. If the game's not going to be continued to worked on, it's launched and that's it. The dev team's gone. They don't stick around, But yeah, I remember. I guess I just wanted to talk about that. I thought it was really interesting and crazy how everything I've seen about Days Gone and Anthem has been the same. The only difference is it's weird to me to think about this, because the same defenses for Days Gone are the same ones people would say for Anthem. The big difference is, for some reason, for whatever reason, and I really believe it's an EA thing. I can't help it. I can't help but believe it's an EA thing, because it doesn't make any sense that there's so much hate on Anthem or Mass Effect Andromeda. It really doesn't. It makes no sense. Some small little issues that are very frustrating don't ruin the game. You know what I mean? It drives me nuts when I see a review and all somebody does, it's called a review, but all they do is point out all these bugs. Bugs. They're reviewing bugs. They're not reviewing the game. They're not talking about how good the game is or what's up with the game. They're just, oh, there's bugs. Oh, loading screen bugs. Loading screen bugs. What? You realize it's not the actual game, right? When you can play the game and the game's going, it's pretty awesome. I don't know. So the difference between Days Gone and Anthem, I really think it's EA. I could be wrong. I'm just saying, from what I've seen, especially over the years too, there's a lot of hate towards it. I hate EA. I fucking hate EA. I hate EA. I hate Activision, and I hate Microsoft, mostly because they're just stupid. I don't like I just don't like them. I don't like freaking Microsoft. But yeah, I don't know, man. Because that's what's funny to me is I'm telling you, everything, the review scores, the complaints, a lot of the complaints that aren't complaining bugs or loading screens for Anthem, are pretty much the same that happened with Days Gone, and it blows my mind too, especially because when I look at other games. I don't want to say this, but I'm gonna have to say it just as an example. It's not the same, but Red Dead Redemption 2. Perfect scores all around. Perfect scores. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. The Last of Us. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. And they, well, I really personally have something against Red Dead Redemption 2 because I really can't stand the gameplay. One day I'll get back to it. I've been thinking about it lately. Like, I'll get back into it. I'll try to have the patience for it, but it's terrible. It's terrible gameplay. It's disgustingly bad, in my opinion, and plenty of people love it. God of War, nobody really, well, I think that got all 10s too, but totally deserves it. It has issues though. It has issues, right? They had to be, early on that game had to get patched to fix bugs and stuff, It was much more polished though, for sure. But I see all these games that get 10s and they have issues. They have the same issues pretty much. Pretty much the same issues. You got these little bugs here and there. Long loading screens. But Anthem gets shit all over on. Does that make sense to you? I mean, think about it, right? It's the same issues. But this game gets hated on way more than the others. And then Days Gone, I don't even know how anybody... this is what's crazy to me. I don't know how people are shitting on Days Gone. I don't. I'm just like, what? It's a little bit different scenario, but that's what's funny to me is it's the same kind of review scores and same defenders, saying the same things. I don't even know what to say about Days Gone. The reason, for me personally, the reason it's so different for Days Gone and I'm not out there crazy defending it is because it's doing just fine on its own without me, right? Plenty of people are defending that game. I really believe that the Anthem thing is EA. It's just hate on EA. I really do. Because imagine if Days Gone was published by EA. Oh, you could damn well bet there'd be a whole lot more hate for it. If you don't think that, I don't know. But I would bet my life on that. I don't want to bet. I'm just saying, right? To the extreme. I would bet on it. I would bet every cent I have that if Days Gone was published by EA, it would get shit all over. Anyways, I should have wrote some notes because I think I'm done. I just wanted to talk about that. I thought it was an interesting thing that I've seen lately since Days Gone launched, and I was just like, this is exactly what I saw in Anthem. I'm not even kidding. It's exactly what I saw in Anthem. So I've been posting a lot. Well, not like super a lot about Days Gone and Anthem, but I've been mentioning it on Twitter and Facebook. Just in comparison wise, because every day the more I see, I'm just like, this is Anthem all over again, It's pretty crazy. So yeah, so nowadays when I just see stupid comments, and I don't mean just somebody disagreeing with, so I don't mean somebody saying, no, I don't like this game because of this or whatever. I mean people going out there and saying the game is shit, and the game is just, and people just being all around, for example, one guy, and I'm sure he was a kid, young, left a comment saying how BioWare should be taken out to the barn and shot or something like that. So this is just one of the examples of the people that I will call out. So I almost didn't even respond to him, and then the next day I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna say what I wanted to say, because my immediate thought when I read that was you should be curb stomped, just as a reaction thing too, because I'm fed up. I'm sick of people. I'm sick of this stupid nonsense. I'm just sick of it, man. I'm done, right? So I replied to him saying he should be curb stomped, just cause, right? This is the guy who was saying BioWare, they all should be shot, it's just what the fuck, So I don't know. It's the extreme stupidity and negativity that I will call out. You're a moron, and I don't do it on all of them. Are you kidding me? I don't have enough time for that. Gosh, that would never end. I would have to make that a full-time job and never get any sleep. Right? Right. Yeah, man, it's been crazy. It's been crazy, and I wish I had more to. I don't know. I feel like I've said a lot, but I feel like I might have left some details out. But thanks for listening. If you have any thoughts on and the thing that's messed up is I know that, as much as I've seen lots of love for Anthem. I've all kinds of love. right? And the thing and that's something that's really taught me, and I've heard this before over the many years since I was a kid, you know, is people need to speak up. You need to speak your mind. It doesn't matter if you think nobody's listening. If you get one person to listen to you, that matters. Just one person. It matters. And it's not going to make a difference in the world, you know, whatever, which sucks. But you should always share what you think. You should. Especially in a case like this where I'm talking about, like, specifically Anthem is just, there's, you know, it's the voice that's fighting back for Anthem is so small in comparison. So small. I'm so glad to have seen the developers say that they're committed. And you know what? I don't expect it, but I'm hoping, and I sort of expect it and don't expect it at the same time. Like I could see a turnaround in content, like a No Man's Sky one, or Destiny, for example. You know, that could happen, and it could be in the progress. They recently, the devs recently launched a new dungeon that I haven't played yet that looks incredible. And the only reason I have other games that I'm playing right now. I'm in the middle of stuff, you know, Days Gone. I just finished the Mass Effect trilogy. I was trying to get into Dragon Age because of Mass Effect, and never mind. But you know, so I'm in the middle of stuff, and I played so much of Anthem. Like, I played it so hardcore that I'm just a bit burnt out. You know, I still love it. Like, more recently, I'm like, man, I really need to go play some more because I've been in the mood. But I have other stuff that I'm playing that I'm more in the mood for, you know. But I really want to play the new dungeon. I watched the live stream when they showed it off. And it's beautiful. Oh my gosh, it looks so cool. Each of the strongholds in Anthem is really cool. I like them all. But you know, I'm telling you, the number one issue that Anthem really has, the real one issue it has, is just not enough content for endgame. And there are still people out there. They have 200 hours, 400, 1,000 hours. They're out there. They have that much time. So yeah, what? Record a video. What do you want?
I kind of feel like Jack in the Box. What do you want from Jack in the Box?
Can I tell you in a few minutes?
Yes.
Okay.
Message me on Facebook.
Okay. That was my wonderful sister. And this is why I didn't want to. I don't edit my videos. Damn it! The fuck was I saying? You bastard. Oh yeah, just content. That's really all that Anthem is lacking for endgame. The full playthrough of it was 30 to 40 hours, if I remember correctly. I made a review right after pretty soon after I had completed the game, the main story and everything, and I was like, wow. So as a one-off, if you were to just go into Anthem and play it as just a one-off and just play it, right, for what it is. Just go play through the game. Don't rush through it to end. That's what I had said this before. You could tell so many people that reviewed this game early on, and you could tell that what they did was they rushed the end game. They leveled as fast as they possibly could. They did end game, and there wasn't enough for them, and they said, fuck this game. That's exactly what happened. Instead of enjoying the game and the world for what it is and getting into it, they just zoom, skipped everything straight to the end, and then we're like, oh, this sucks. But, yeah, I don't know, the reason I wanted to record this, and I know this has been long, and I don't expect anybody to have actually made it this far. How long? Man, half an hour, holy shit. If you're still here, thank you, awesome. Leave a comment, man, let me know. Please, let me know, because, just let me know, damn it. Yeah, so I've just, man, I can't believe what I've seen with Days Gone. It's funny to me, that's why I started talking about this, and I should write an article too, but the reason I haven't jumped on Days Gone like I did with Anthem is because Days Gone has enough defenders. It's a half and half kind of thing, especially when you look at like the Metacritic. I haven't looked at it myself, but I've heard from the comments I've read all over the place. Like, you'll see the reviews for Anthem saying like, the main reviews, the big ones will be like 5s and 6s and stuff, but if you go look at the user reviews, it's around an 8. So they're good. Right? They're good. So I don't need to be out there sharing my opinion, trying to reach the few people that I can reach. And like I said, if I reach one person and just reach them. I'm not trying to sell them the game, right? I'm not trying to get you to buy a game I like. I'm just trying to share, and be like, look, man, I don't know. Even if you rent it or whatever, at least just give it a chance. And I don't mean just Anthem. I mean any game. This is the thing for me. Any game that you think looks good. I see this all the time. People are like, "Oh man, I think this game looks really cool, but the reviews are bad." If you think it looks cool, you need to try it. It doesn't mean you have to buy it, but at least try it. Give it. If you can rent it, rent it. If you can borrow it from somebody, borrow it, which isn't as common these days as it was a long time ago before the internet. Right? But always try for yourself, especially if something looks good. My gosh, how many cinematics are in this game? Holy crap. Anyways, I'm gonna end the video. Thank you for watching. I just wanted to share my opinion because of when I saw this happening with Days Gone. I wanted to talk about it, and I have been talking about it on social media, but I haven't made a video and stuff. And I think I'm just gonna title this video "Fed Up" or something. I don't know. I don't even know what to title this video, right? Oh my god, this is so freaking annoying. Wait, why can't I get... Jeez. Where's the gameplay? Nah, this actually, the video is actually labeled as like all cinematics or some crap like that. But then it had a ton of gameplay. I was like, alright, cool. Anyways, yeah. So please let me know. Leave a comment if you made it through. What I started doing in some years back when I was watching long videos, is I would like go into the comment section and then like note down while watching the video and then commenting, like doing a line for each response I had to for that video. That's just something I started doing. If I was gonna say something, yeah, more recently I don't. I've watched long videos recently and I just leave a quick comment. Anyways, yeah. So I feel like I have one final thing to say, which is why it's been hard for me to end this. I'm like, I feel like I'm missing something, damn it. But alright, I'll talk to you later. Follow me on Twitter if you're interested. On Twitter, I've recently been on Twitter mostly because of Facebook. I still share on Facebook as well, but on Twitter I'm far more active now compared to Facebook. I used to be equal on both, but now it's mostly Twitter, and I'm sharing a lot more random thoughts and stuff on Twitter than I used to. And Anthem got me started into that. Anthem really pushed me on social media, man. Pushed me over the edge. I can't even take it anymore. I'm done, man. I said it before. I'm so fed up. I've just unfollowed so many gaming sites. I don't even want to know what they have to say anymore. I don't care. Fuck them. If they can just put out all these stupid articles, like, I don't know. For me, it's one thing to share your opinion, and it's another to act like it's the one truth, and this is something that I always think about, because this is something that I've seen it happen a lot. When I go browse a review, go skim it, I'll see a lot of the negative remarks that they make. They don't like this game because of this, they don't like this game because of that, and I'm like, these two things that you just said you don't like sound really cool to me. That's actually a reason I would go play that game. It sounds really cool. So it's all kinds of stuff. And the thing about it too, I'll end with this. The one thing I always see, and you can tell when you read the comments by people, if you know about the topic, if you're familiar with it. For example, me with Anthem, like, I know Anthem very well. And if I go read comments from people, I can tell people that haven't played it and they're just jumping in. Yeah, it sucks. Nah. You can tell. You can tell those people don't have any idea what they're talking about. But the people that don't know, the people that are bystanders and they just see the comments, they just think that they're telling the truth. But I would tell you this, 90% of the people that leave comments on stuff have no clue what they're talking about. That's what it seems like. I'm not, of course I'm making that number up, but that's what it seems like. 1 out of 10 comments I ever see is somebody that actually knows what they're talking about. And you can tell too in the way they detail their comment and the way they actually talk about specifics, rather than somebody just being like, but even like, and I mean specifics about the game, not specifics in general. Some people that might go trashing on Anthem or Days Gone or whatever game they're trashing on will be like, well, the developer, this and that. For example, a lot of people will quote the Kotaku article about the behind the scenes for Anthem, but they haven't played the game. You can tell they haven't played the game because they just use that article as their like base for their opinion, rather than having a clue what they're talking about. Because that article was not about the game being bad. It was about what happened during development, and it was pretty crazy. You know, it was a crazy story, man. But anyways, what I've seen, this was all leading up to what I was about. Like, what I've seen is most people, and I do the same thing, but I don't go comment on it and go leave a bunch of crazy comments acting like I know what I'm talking about. But I do the same thing that other people do, and you can tell, is they'll read the headline and the score, and that's it, and then they'll go offer their opinion based on that. That's the majority of people that react to reviews and stuff online. They don't actually read the review. And you could tell, especially if you were to go look at reviews for Days Gone, a lot of those reviews say really stupid things. Things that don't make any sense. The complaints in the review are just like, who would complain about that? And I've seen this mentioned in comments too from other people when they read the review. It's like I said, a lot of people, they don't read the review. They don't actually read the context of the review. Headline, score. Everything between, whatever, doesn't exist. And it has an effect on the internet reaction, you know. It's ridiculous. And when I read headline score, what I look at that for is to see what their general thought is by the headline. And like I said, a lot of that stuff is just so clickbait, I don't even bother with it. If it's clickbait, I don't even care. You're gonna clickbait me, I don't care. Your opinion doesn't mean anything to me. If you require clickbait to get me to come look at your shit, why should I bother? But sometimes, you know, a non-clickbait headline or whatever, depending on the headline and the score, it'll make me skim through it, you know. And if the review is good, I'll actually read the whole thing. But I like to skim. This is usually how I do it now too, mostly because I don't purchase games or decide if I'm going to play a game based on reviews. I like to know people's opinions and thoughts. I like to see what people are saying, but that's not going to change my mind. If I look at a trailer for a game, for example, for Days Gone or Anthem or whatever, if I see a trailer for it, I see gameplay, real gameplay, not some cinematic trailer. If I see gameplay for a game and it looks really cool to me, I'm most likely going to try that game at some point. Some games I'll buy right away, some I'll wait for later, you know. I'll look at it and be like, that looks cool, I'm going to pick that up at another time. Depending on money and, you know, and how many games I'm currently in the middle of playing and stuff like that. You know, so I like to look at reviews and skim them and see what's being said. And my favorite thing about this is something that I didn't start with a long time ago, years ago. My favorite thing now about reading reviews is my favorite part is always coming across parts that to the reviewer is something they didn't like, but it sounds really cool to me. It always makes me laugh every time I see it. I'm like, oh man, that sounds really cool. This reviewer is a stupid ass. You know, I don't go say your review sucks or whatever unless I really think it's bad. You know, and even then I don't always comment. I usually don't leave comments. It's only recently I start calling out idiots because I'm fed up with the idiots. I'm not fed up with bad reviews, right? I'm fed up with the gaming sites that put out really stupid shit constantly. Clickbait this, clickbait that. Drama sells, drama. Those guys can screw off. But I will call out the really stupid kids. It could be adults too. In most cases, it's probably a young person, you know. But I've seen plenty of adults also say really stupid things. Like this guy, Paul something for Forbes. He has been a big, giant fucking crybaby. He's posted like probably 15 to 20 articles about Anthem. And only one of them was actually decent. Like, well written and like not just a toxic hate fest of bullshit. You know, that guy's I've learned that guy's a fucking crybaby moron. Paul something at Forbes, I don't remember. He's probably the only person on that site that covers Anthem. But anyways, yeah. So I'm fed up, man. I'm just so fed up. It's, you know, if you don't like a game, you don't have to go tell everybody and try to convince people that game is bad or whatever. You know what I mean? But you know, I've been there when I was a kid. I didn't try to convince people their games sucked, but I was in the console wars. Super Nintendo's better, Genesis better than Super Nintendo, you know, like that kind of thing, whatever. I also, I used to say a game would suck just if I thought it looked bad. If I thought a game looked bad, I would say it sucked. nowadays I don't do that anymore. It's been some time now where I'm like that. I'm just not interested in that right now. It doesn't look interesting to me. So I just that's what I say now. Instead of what it used to be a long time ago where I would say like that game sucks. Now I just like I don't really want to play that right now or something like that, you know. Because I've learned that even with TV shows or movies, I've learned that if I'm not interested in this now, I might be later. I might go try that again later and be like, oh man, I love this now, you know. And the same thing happened with Mass Effect trilogy. Like years ago, I had tried those games each, and I couldn't get into them. And then recently, because of Anthem, I was like, all right, I'm gonna try this time. I'm gonna try real hard, and I allowed myself to just get into it, and then I couldn't stop. You know, I played 1, 2, and 3 almost straight through, almost. I had a little bit of a break, a couple other games in between, but pretty much straight through. And oh my gosh, I loved them. So, anyways, I've rambled on far too long. So I will talk to you later. Have a great day. Bye bye.